This will probably be one of the longer trainings that we'll do. I'm going to really take my time to go through it with you. I've got some great feedback on this. This is probably the best 2 to 3 hour investment of your time to make a copy of this sheet here and go through it and really dig down into understanding your ideal patient, understanding your market, who you're going after, who you want to bring in, who's out there competing against you, how do they position themselves. Once you go through and create this, you have it for your team. You can hand it off to your people, and you can hand it off to anybody else. Any new hires can spend time reading through this to understand the ideal patient that you want to bring into the practice even more. It can unify the team's vision. It can unify all your ads. This is a wonderful investment of your time, but it's a little uncomfortable to do. That's why we're going to take our time and go through it. So I've got 2 documents that we're going to go through here. We've got market research process and then understanding market awareness. Both of these will be linked below. So as you're going through this, top 3 competitors. A lot of docs I work with are in smaller markets, so there may not be an immediate competitor in your smaller market. But think bigger than that. Go to like the nearest major city and look at what they're doing. Now, just because their site's good doesn't mean that they're actually doing well. Dig deeper, ask around. If you know somebody in like a local big city, like ask them, hey, who's the top guy there? Or even just go to Google. You can just go search like best anti-aging doctor Chicago, best anti-aging doctor Miami. You'll probably see some people that we work with. But go through and take the time to do the research and look for like real competition, similar services, and see how they market their stuff. Go to YouTube. We'll get to that. Then you want to ask yourself, what is the product/service positioning of your competitors' offer? What is their offer? What are their deliverables? What's their price point? What's their payment terms? Do they offer payment terms? Is it just paid in full? What are their bonuses? What else do you get when you buy their treatment or procedure? Are there any guarantees? You can't really do this too much in medical because like you just can't. It's illegal. But it's good to know if you're selling like info products or stuff too. Remember, your goal is to create an offer that is far superior to what your competitors are currently offering. Example, breakthrough non-surgical knee pain solution. This is how a lot of people position their offer. The key there is breakthrough. It's new. Non-surgical is the pain point that they don't want. And then knee pain solution is the pain that they have right now. So this is how that, just an example of a way you can position it. Common headlines competitors are using on sites, social media blogs, look into their sales pages. So this is just a little Jedi trick here. You can go to facebook.com/ad/library. And you can look at the ads of your competitors. So I'll just do like one of my current clients, just so there's no conflict of interest here. You can go and look at all of Clinic's ads. They've got provider acquisition ads, and then they've got patient acquisition ads. You can look at all the ads that they're running right here. You can go to see ad details, and then you can even opt into the ad if you want to. You can click the link and see their stuff. Now you can go to, I always do it on YouTube. Hopefully I get served an ad. This one is viral, so it will likely serve me an ad. Pause it, click info, my ad center. So this is Squarespace. See more ads this advertiser is shown using Google. So now I'm looking at all of Squarespace's ads. You can see everything that they're running. And you can go and grab their landing pages. You can see where they're running traffic to. Video ads, image ads. This one's pretty cool. Banner ads, different formats, different displays. And you can see where they're sending it. So go look at that. List 3 common themes. Create some like swipe files. Save this stuff. It's really valuable to know. If somebody is spending way more money than you, save yourself some time, energy, and effort, and save yourself the money. How do your competitors position themselves? I position myself as an elite practice growth strategist. There's a reason why I do that. I want to create the status and the authority. Practice growth is my audience. Strategist, I want people to think about that when they consider me. Non-surgical joint pain specialist is just an example. That's how a lot of docs will position themselves, non-surgical joint pain specialist. There's nothing wrong with that. It works. There are other ways to do it. I've used that plenty of times. What is the competitor's unique selling proposition? So for me, it's like I want to help people get more cash pay patients using an internal agency, which is my unique mechanism with most of your treatments. A lot of the things you are offering are unique. Oh, I'm sorry here. That's my mechanism. With most of the treatments, a lot of the things you are offering are unique, and people are not solution aware yet. They don't know your price point. They don't know that that solution even exists. So if you think about like regenerative medicine, for example, because we're on that thread, people don't necessarily know that that exists as an option to them. They may have heard briefly about it as like a rumor, like a whisper from a friend, but they don't necessarily know the price. What it, like, does it exist for them? Is it a real option for them? Does it work? They aren't sure that that's the solution for them yet. Now, with some commodities like aesthetics work, you need to name your service and make it unique and offer something additional to what you are already offering to make it special. But with a lot of like the anti-aging stuff, regenerative stuff, people just don't know it exists yet. So you can kind of get away with like not differentiating too much. What are people saying in the testimonials about your competition? If you go to your competitors' Google reviews and you read them, you rarely come across a medical practice that has put this much thought into how they get testimonials from their patients and what their patients say about them. But you can still learn a ton from reading reviews of practices that you admire. You learn what the patients really value and what made the experience special to them, special enough to go and leave a review. As we dig deeper into our ideal patient profile here, these are just questions that you can ask yourself to learn more about them. What keeps them awake at night? Is it literally their knee pain? What keeps them staring at the ceiling, stressed out each and every night? You need to learn these things about your customers, your patients. What's their current situation? Why does it bother them? How would they describe it? How would they describe their pain? How would others describe their current situation and pain? What are others saying about the way that it impacts their ability to be active, to show up at work? Would they say they have brain fog? How would they describe their desired situation? What lies are they believing about their current state of health? Why are they believing these lies? Dig into their mindset, why they think the way that they think, and help them change. Indoctrinate them to become one of your ideal patients by giving them the education to understand what you understand about their health. What are some hot topics about knee pain, about regenerative medicine, about aesthetics that only you would know? What things do people keep telling you in your consultations that are uniquely specific to this type of patient? Additional questions here just to dig deeper. What has or hasn't worked when it comes to booking new consultations with these types of patients? How have you brought them in successfully in the past? How have you unsuccessfully tried to book people? Look at your current clients and patients. What similarities do they all share? What is their mission? What traits do they share? Do they look a certain way? Do they dress a certain way? Do they do a certain thing for work? How would you describe them? How would they describe themselves? Look at the people you had consultations with that said no, that didn't move forward with treatment. What traits did they share? How would you describe the people that said no? And go deeper than just like they didn't have money. Come on, actually think about these people. What would they do for work? How would they describe themselves? What would they say about what they do for work? Or what would they say about their pain? What's your offer? Actually write it out. It's good to do the exercise. What result is the offer designed to create for the patient? What will they get back as a result of buying your program, treatment, procedure? How do you describe your offer in the consultation? And how does your transaction people, your front desk, your receptionist describe your offer? Listen to your team's inbound calls. Listen to your team's outbound calls. The part where they go over the actual program. What did your team say? What did you say? Record some consultations. The objections that people give you during these consultations. Go back to your recordings, write a script, work this out. I'll help you with some scripting. Write through this stuff. Think about this stuff. It will help you. Like the time that you invest in doing this research will go so far for your business. Practices that I work with that do that stuff are massively successful. They have an enormous edge. Most people don't spend the time to think about this stuff. I recommend, if you're really trying to get clear on this stuff, book 20 to 30 consultations with your customers and take them through a basic consult process the way you would for a normal prospect, or even better, just get on the phone with customers and try and sell them. Take copious notes. This will be the best market research if you follow the basic principles above. We're getting into like general demographic data, like how old are they, like what do they do for work, how much money do they make, where do they live, basic stuff. If you are doing some market research, YouTube's a great place to go. Just search, think about what a patient would search. Like type in like non-surgical joint pain solution, or a specific peptide, or hormone testosterone dosing or something for men. Like, is testosterone safe? Think about what your patients are going to be typing in. Go and type that in, and then look at the most popular channels. What are they making videos about? What are they saying in the first couple seconds of those videos that talks about the pain points? If they are. If they're not, here's your wide open market. Top 3 to 5 related books on Amazon. What are the headlines? Copy. What are the titles of the books? Who wrote them? You're learning about your competition now. Top 3 to 5 online magazines and blogs. Which articles are most popular? Relevant sales pages. You got that from your ad research above. YouTube trends. You can go to vidIQ.com for that. Hold on. Just the research platform. Amazon book reviews. Make a copy of this for yourself. Go through it. Now we're going to get into a bit of understanding our market here even further. And where they're at in the decision-making process. So now that you've gone through the stuff above, you should be able to answer some of this stuff pretty quickly. List the mass desires of this target market. Out of the mass desires, select the broadest one with the most power. What's like the cost of inactivity for them? Like if they don't do this, what's going to be the outcome? Like if they don't fix their knee pain, if they don't fix their chronic fatigue, if they don't fix their ability to focus at work, if they don't fix their ED, if they don't fix their acne scarring. Out of those desires, figure out the cost of inactivity and select the broadest one with the most power. In other words, the most common that people want to solve right now, and what happens if they don't. List the product performance that satisfy that desire. What is your product going to do that is going to solve that problem for them? Pick the one product performance that uniqueness and powerfully fulfills the desire you picked. This is the core concept of the ad that you're going to write. Bold to identify the level of market awareness for your offer. And this is getting into the different types of awareness that exist. So this goes a little bit further into this, but I'm going to go through this kind of slow here. So the first is what I think a lot of doctors assume about all of their treatments and procedures. They assume that they know the product name and know the price. So for this, it would be like Botox. A large majority of Botox buyers know the product by name and they know the price. This has even started to happen a bit with Gainswave or Cool Sculpting. They know the product by name generally and they know the price, because those companies worked really hard to differentiate. Then there's product aware. They know the product. They don't know the price. They may or may not know about you, but they know there are products out there that can solve their problems, but they don't know the price. So this could be like somebody who's done enough research on stem cells to know that it exists. So they could just know like stem cells by like name. And they could know like TRT by name. But they don't know the price. They just know that it exists. And they definitely don't know about you. Solution aware. This market, all they know is there is possibly a solution at best. They may not even believe there's a solution to their problem, but they at least know they want the solution. This is where many fall into. This is a large majority of our prospective patients. These can also be called skeptics. They're a colder market. If they do know there's a solution, then you really want to emphasize the benefit. If they don't believe, you might have to pre-sell and educate the market a bit. So this is definitely my father. My father is somebody who struggled with an MCL tear for a very long time, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, probably even 10 years. He worked physical labor. He is financially qualified to invest in a regenerative medicine treatment, a joint injection, stem cells, IV, whatever you want to give him. He's a qualified buyer, but he is skeptical. He's a 65-year-old guy, 66. He knows that this stuff exists. Obviously, I'm his son, but he may not even believe that that's a real solution, but he at least wants to know about it, that it exists. He's definitely skeptical. He's definitely colder market. This happens a lot in men specifically. This is like a masculine trait, like to be skeptical about a solution that exists like this. And then there's problem aware. They may or may not know that they have a problem. Understand if your market is aware of the problem or not. If they aren't, you have to pre-sell and create the problem. If they are, start with more benefit. An example of this is one of the biggest problems in paid media is tracking, but people entering the market don't know there's a problem. So if I flip this for us, for medical practices, it would be, just because I'm pulling this same thread of regenerative medicine here, one of the biggest problems in regenerative medicine would be poor quality stem cell sources, and Chiro is making a bad name in the space. This is something that if you knew existed, you would know. But if you just had no idea, you just don't know yet. So not many of our ideal patients are in this here. If we thought about it a different way, if they don't yet know that they have a problem, you have to pre-sell them and talk about the symptoms that are showing up for them that they didn't realize is linked to it. So it could be a women's hormone quiz where the curiosity of it pre-sells them and creates the problem. And you give them the results to the quiz as the solidifying thing that anchors them to the fact that they actually have a problem. And then you have unaware. Here you're completely opening up a new market, or they're a totally dead market. So a totally dead market would be like the Chiro offer that people have ran from a long time. It is the exam, consultation, x-ray for, it's like $100 or something. That offer just is so beaten. You got to do something different here. In my space and what I do, the offer that is really annoying is guaranteeing a certain amount of patients. So when I first started doing this, we guaranteed 5 new cash pay patients a month. This was 8 years ago, 2015, 16. We guaranteed 5 new cash paying patients a month. Then you probably saw people offering 10 to 15 new cash pay patients a month. Now, unfortunately, you see people offering 20 to 30 new cash paying patients a month. It's it doesn't even make sense. So they've ran this offer so many times and they've been hit with so many claims that they're just immune to that anymore. So here's where you create a new mechanism to revive this market and bring it back to life. This is where permanent forces like weight loss, you have to create a new mechanism over and over and over. So take some time and clone this sheet as well. If you can move people through this and you can move them through this chain of beliefs, where if I get them to believe number 5 here, that's called the marketing thesis, or as Russell Brunson puts it, the domino belief, where if they just believe this one thing, they'll buy from you every time. So for me, this is the chain of beliefs that I walk my people through. Number 1 is I'm building my practice and I'm unconsciously dissatisfied with the results. I'm just unaware, right? And if we go back to unaware, we have to graduate people from 5 to 1. So this is the train of thought that we need to get people to come through, the chain of beliefs that we need to bring them through. Then I need to get people to believe I want to bring in more high-ticket cash-paying patients, but I don't know how. We're moving them from 1 to 2. This is making them problem-aware. Then we want them to move from problem-aware to having a more specified problem awareness. I no longer want to be stuck at this income level, and I feel marketing is the best thing for me to do. They're becoming more aware of a solution to that problem. And then we want to graduate them to solution aware. I no longer want to be stuck. I want to market. I feel hiring a consulting or marketing agency is the best thing for me to do. Number 5, is where they ultimately make a decision to get started with me. And I bring you through this because these are real to me, and I want to help you understand what I have gone through to make sure that this product is a great fit for everybody who's involved in it and gets the most information out of this possible. I want people to feel I no longer want to be stuck. I want to market. I feel hiring a consulting or marketing agency is the best thing for me to do. And the best person for me to learn how to bring in more cash pay patients without hiring an agency is Anton. I want them to become product aware. If I get people to believe this, there's nothing that'll stop them from getting started with me. So I encourage you to clone this here and go through this on your own. So think about it from the perspective of your knee pain patients, your TRT patients, your aesthetic patients. If you get them to walk through this chain of beliefs, they are much more likely to get started with you. And then as we come back to the market research process, Doc, this is how to market to those different levels of awareness around your service and product. So in the first stage, again, this is people who are most aware. They know your price, they know your offer. Generally, just use simple direct offer copy. The second stage, which is people that are becoming product aware, they know the product, they don't know the price. They know it exists, they just don't know how much it costs. Take existing claims that of your competitors, look at your competitors' ads that are first to market and expand on them and inflate their claims. Enlarge until they're unbelievable. Third stage, they've heard all the claims. This is like a more mature market. Inflated claims have no effect and it's too broad. Above, you're talking about what your product does here. Now you're talking about how your product works. It makes it more unique. You've got to educate them even further and position yourself as the expert. The more unique you can make your mechanisms, the better. This is getting more advanced into like copywriting stuff. I want to keep it basic because a lot of the times like you're just going to use the ads that I've already written that you know work. So the fourth stage is elaboration and enlargement. This is where I've spent a lot of my time marketing to consumers of this program because I need to elaborate on mechanisms and make them even more complex and benefit rich. So like if you remember in my ads, I talk about the different methods I've used to help people build their practices. There's 5 different methods listed in there, different strategies. So I've got to elaborate on my mechanism and why it's special, which is the program and the internal agency. And the 5th stage is the dead market. I'm like not quite in here yet. It's very close. A lot of times this happens with weight loss. Semaglutide is up here, but is very close to ending up down here where like people are getting close to talking about it too much and they might need to think of a different way to offer their and position their weight loss program to be different than the traditional semaglutide offer. Like henrymeds.com has really made it quite not cool to do anymore. It does happen though in weight loss. People still have that problem, but you still need to create a unique mechanism to make yourself stand out and even get it done much better. The downside to this is if you have to go so far to really be loud and bold and clickbaity, you may get lesser quality leads. So it's just something to be aware of. It's better to pivot completely and think of a new mechanism that's going to make all of your stuff brand new rather than spend time like trying to fix and revive this dead market. It's better to just come up here again and spend some time in like solution aware people. And how to do that is just uncover your unique mechanism. Just rethink about that. I don't want that. What is a unique component of your product or service that delivers the end result? If it's you or if it's your team, depending on how big you want to grow your practice, sometimes it's better to position the team than it is to position you or position your brand as like the team that is specialized in this than yourself. But if you want to be solo provider and super profitable, talk about yourself, position you as the expert. You're going to end up spending a bit more money on ads, but they'll work and you'll get high quality leads. What is a common component of your product or service not being talked about by your competitors? So what makes your stuff special that people are not talking about or they're unaware of? And then you can come up to making them solution aware and educating them about your stuff. So make some copies of these, go through these. They're designed to be worksheets, these 2 docs here. and I will talk to you in the next video where we're going to go into no-brainer offer creation, and then I'll show you all the offers that I've made for practices thus far. Everything's like proven, already vetted. I've ran millions of dollars to it. I know they work.